Hello all, Rick here with a prelude to the next chapters of my Star Trek Online story series. I recently got the chance to sit down with the executive producer of STO, Thomas Maroney, who is also responsible for notable ship designs over its lifetime, so feel free to check that out too. But with the next chapter coming out in this multiversal tale, I thought it a good idea to cover the numerous short stories that have emerged in the meantime. As a recap, the Aetherians initially arrived to assist us in the struggles against the Borg from another universe, beginning with the Borg Kingdom of the Terran universe, then the Control Borg, from a place where the Iconian and Federation were forced to ally against them after they assimilated the Section 31 Control AI. However, it was eventually revealed that our Aetherian allies were in fact the ones herding these Borg into our universe in preparation of taking us into their Concordium. For they too were Borg, assimilated Iconians, who are less drone-like and follow the guiding will of some intangible ether. Numerous instances of sabotage across our vessels have been detected, and on top of it all, a new variant of cyborg, a Chimeran as we have taken to calling them, have emerged onto the scene. They're a wild card, feral and attacking any side, Borg-Aetherian alliance. So, with the galaxy in this state and in a constant state of response to incursions, we captured a notable Aetherian, Thaseen Fei, and are gradually uncovering what has occurred and how to confront this menace. Thaseen Fei, now going by Fei, recently captured by the Alliance forces in the last part, has been moved from Deep Space Nine to Facility 4028, the Federation's high security prison, often used for wartime prisoners, but most do not know of her location. 7 of 9 attempts to gain information from her, but Fei finds her attempts at comparing experiences of being disconnected from the Borg trite. Fei argues that the Aetherian Concordium perfected the Borg and chose to embrace their new existence, unlike Seven's experience, who was forced into servitude. After hours of non-compliance, Fei eventually opens up about her past. This Fei is the original Aetherian 200,000 years old, and not a Thaseen Fei copied drone. She confirms that their homeworld was named Eadna, and that she was sent as the face of the Aetherians, as generational recreations of Aetherians can lead to slight degradation of knowledge. Only the originals, like her, can accurately recall all their lore with certainty. She says that the sabotage spread throughout the Alliance can spread of its own accord, that there only had to be one instance of contamination on one vessel to begin this. Upon learning that the Harmony is now overrun with Chimerans, Fei snaps, letting slip that the Aetherians do still have their world heart, but they did not bring it with them on the Harmony. However, the core of the Harmony is tethered to the ether, but before any more progress can be made, Director Hugh arrives, saying that a request has come from the Iconian Whole. Lemiran wishes to talk with Fei, and that request is from our universe's Iconians, the Iconian War Iconians. The Dominion, meanwhile, have been noticeably absent from events concerning the Aetherians, and this in part is due to their own self-interests and expansive reforms. Odo's influence within the Dominion hierarchy has led to a more diplomatic and agreeable Dominion, but there's a lot to manage. Loris, the Vorta with whom we have worked alongside before, and an aide to Odo, has recently had to deal with Aetherian sabotage on her own vessel, among others. While the Dominion missed the inclusion in the offensive against the Aetherians in recent weeks, they are not exempt from their harassment, it seems. The same sort of runic carvings and software debilitations are forcing their ship to damage one another, and among other feats, but thanks to the Dominion's absence from the meetings, they are falling behind in their ability to deal with it. On top of this, well, they've started receiving the same intel reports on the Alpha and Beta Quadrant forces, but later than everyone else, leading them to reach out to the Ferengi to compare briefings. Loris learns that the Federation and Klingon Empire seem to be on the cutting edge of dealing with the Aetherians and a step ahead of the rest of the Allied powers. She petitions the Borg Cooperative for assistance in removing the sabotage, and they willingly share their intel. The takeaway she has is that the Dominion needs to be more involved in tackling the Aetherian threat, otherwise it risks falling behind while the rest of the Allies move on without it. We shall see if this realization manifests into action. And there is one more tale, which was written to be very vague, and I'm not going to reveal just yet because, well, spoilers. So, that being said, we open when a communication is relayed to us, but the signal is badly degraded.
I repeat, this is Captain Ezri Dax. I'm calling on you at the recommendation of Director Hugh from the Borg Cooperative. The species known as the Chimerans have taken over the MIDAS array. I am stationed on the array, but all attempts at first contact and diplomacy have failed. The Chimerans are hostile and have corrupted the array's comms. I repeat, cannot abandon my post. Backup is required immediately.
We have worked alongside Captain Dax before. The last time was when we still believed the Aetherians were on our side. The mission, however, resulted in us being assimilated for a time and turning on our teams. Let's hope that this mission goes better. We set a course for the MIDAS array in the Alpha Quadrant. She rescued us once, it's only fair that we repay the favour. These Chimerans, though, have never shown any inclination to anything beyond violence, attacking at every opportunity, and while they seem to share some level of advanced intellect, we're not even sure that they can communicate effectively. They are spacefaring and seemingly convert or assimilate in the same way the Borg do, but there's a chaotic nature to it, no order and no seeming quest for perfection or advancement. They operate ships, but don't seem to have built their own, instead converting anything they contaminate. Even the Borg succumb to them. And they have some ties to augmented protomatter samples that we've located before. Originally we thought they may have been another Aetherian pawn, but no. They attacked the Aetherians too, so perhaps they were studying them as well. We arrive at the MIDAS system, the second time we have visited in the past few weeks, and my how things have changed.
Glad you made it, and relieved. The level of environmental corruption down here is... and comms are still disrupted. Can you hear?
Captain Dax, your comms are spotty. Sorry, no. Okay, rescue mission time. Also, where's the Aventine?
No time to explain. I recommend yellow alert. The Chimerans have placed beacons in the system to summon more of their kind.
Okay, so we should try to take out the reinforcements first.
Clear the system and stay alert. Those beacons are emitting a powerful psionic signal.
Psionic? There's a psychic aspect to the Chimerans? Interesting. The system has numerous Chimeran vessels scattered around it, and from what we can see, these cyst ships are converted Borg Scout vessels, corrupted and changed with cybernetic growths. A mixture of metal and organic, pulsing flesh erupts at irregular intervals across their hull, trailing backwards like some techno-modified tadpole. Of course, the standout feature of the scene is the active MIDAS array, focusing a beam towards a point where a vortex has formed, a sore red wound in the universe, akin to the interdimensional holes that we have seen when the Borg invade. The array itself, like the Borg ships, shows signs of Chimeran corruption. Blisters of organic and mechanical growths have erupted from the cleaned uranium hull, co-opting systems to their will, whatever that is. And whatever is going on here, Captain Ezri Dax is down there on that station in the middle of it all. And we need to get her out, as well as figure out what's going on. If necessary, however, I am considering destroying the MIDAS array to prevent it, whatever this is, as a last resort. As we get closer, one of our questions regarding the Chimerans is answered. They can talk. I guess it just took them taking over a giant communications array to figure out how.
Screech, squirm. The Jean-Resi feast on the thrill of your despair. Your vessel will be absorbed, devoured, every piece of matter consumed.
Right. I preferred it when they were only shrieking. But that doesn't sound very Borg-like, although the idea of consumption could be compared to assimilation, that's kind of Borgish. Either way, their intent is clear, so we open fire. The first cyst vessel goes down immediately. Is it wrong that I expected it to be tougher? The 4 deformed scout ships fall one after another. It seems that despite all these modifications that the Chimerans have made, they're not improvements to the systems on board. There is one remaining vessel, however, the Chimeran Fei ship. This one clearly an overrun Borg sphere. Now it's trailing tendrils, making it appear like some disembodied eyeball floating through space. With it falling, we turn our attention to the floating hive beacon as it channels energy into the MIDAS array and appears to be the device Dax was talking about. Or at least one of two.
MIDAS array sensors indicate you've destroyed a beacon. Keep it up. The array beam is a triquantum pulse wave. It's holding that unstable portal open.
I see. So it seems that parts of the array are still under Ezri's control, like external sensors, and for that matter communications. But the Chimerans have reformatted the emitter from a broadcast antenna into a universe-piercing portal gun.
From hull to husk, your vessel will be dissected, no contorted, no consumed.
All our reports suggested that the Chimerans have some sort of hive mind, but that sounds far from unified. They were contradicting themselves with every sentence. With the next skirmish, we take out the 2 Cis ships first, cutting down on the incoming firepower before hitting the remaining phage sphere. With them gone, we take out the second beacon.
The array is picking up on an energy spike originating from the multiversal portal.
But were we too late, and have they already sent for reinforcements?
Borg vessel incoming. Its quantum signature matches our universe, but it's been infected by the Chimerans.
Rise and twist, ship by ship, devour, consume. Feasting, stretching, devouring whole.
Well, I disapprove of that. So this massive structure is, or was, a cube, but look at it. It's distorted, its symmetry, a hallmark of Borg design, gone. This jagged and twisted shard of metal is also writhing in organic growths, and that same elongated spike at the rear, almost like they're trying to emulate something, changing the form into something else. We move in to engage this vessel, this conglomerate design, and this ship packs a punch. Its initial barrage takes out our shielding, and drawing in too close ensnares us in a tractor beam. We manage to pull away in order to make critical hull repairs and notice something fortunate. It doesn't move to follow us, it just sits there. We're able to engage into hit and run tactics, drawing back to unleash a sustained barrage of firepower while hovering just out of tractor beam range, but within targeting distance. At a distance of around 8 to 9 kilometres, we're able to hound the ship with unrelenting fire and provide just enough shielding to prevent critical damage to the armature. This exchange of fire, with us diverting everything spare to forward shielding, is enough to sustain our assault on this conglomerate vessel, but it's a long and drawn out affair. However, throughout all of this, the Chimeran ship never moves, never turns, never adapts.
Well done. I've cleared up the array's comms, but I'm not sure how long it'll last.
That was certainly a powerful vessel, but I don't know, something was off.
Alliance reports indicate that this Chimeran Borg vessel traveled here from the 13 SETI system.
Yes, we've just compared its signature to our own records, and the armature has encountered it before. The Zenkethi that still clung to hostility with the Federation had established a base of operations in 13 SETI. There they were experimenting with protomatter that had come to them from the Aetherians, when we found that their base was being overrun with the same sort of growths we see here, but at the time, we didn't know about the Chimeran involvement. After they jettisoned the protomatter, the Borg arrived to seize it and instead were corrupted themselves. That same cube we battled then was this monstrosity we just witnessed now. The contaminated protomatter converted the ship, terraforming it, and these properties are documented. After all, it's protomatter at the heart of the Genesis device, but we've not seen it act in this way before. However, it does confirm one thing, that this corrupted protomatter and the Chimerans are undeniably connected.
Well, let's act fast. We need more data on that multiversal portal to shut it down. And without support on the ground, I won't be able to get the technology aboard the array that's holding it open.
First off, a chronometric and drift analysis can give us a timeline for this portal. We're also reading signs of strong psionic energy, still. Right, so let's take a look as to how this started.
Right, to replicate the conditions that led to the portal's creation, and allow us to reverse engineer that process. Creative, and worth a shot. Can you transfer me the data in real time?
I mean, I can try. The signal is still being messed up. I'll send it through. You'll probably get most of it. Unfortunately, while conducting our scans, something unexpected occurs.
This portal's chronometric signature places its conception at roughly 5 hours ago. That timestamp correlates with a localized rupture in space-time originating from an unknown source. Scans show the portal's drift vector has a decay rate of 0.015 radians per second, delayed by the array's triquantum pulse wave. If we invert the wave's polarity, we could engineer the opposite effect and expedite the portal's collapse. We can work with that. Hang on. Sensors are picking up an incoming energy signature. Brace yourselves. Something's coming through. Mayday, Mayday. This is Operator Z. This is a call into the void, I'm sure, but I gotta try. Structural integrity is compromised beyond repair and emergency protocols activated. Does anyone copy? Anyone? Array comms are failing again. Your signal is weak. I repeat, this is Tegan. This shuttle is about to blow. I'm setting a course for the nearest stable structure. Preparing for transport in 3, 2. The MIDAS array has recorded an explosion near its central dish. Are you all right?
Didn't that sound like... No,